Welcome everyone to Race 5 of Season 8 in the International Racers Pro-Am Series. Tonight we're bringing the thunder to one of North America's most intimidating road courses. Hey, it's time for some Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Place is fast, unforgiving, and especially these GT3 machines, it's absolutely relentless. 10 corners, massive elevation change, and high-speed commitment through turns 1 and 2. But careful on turns 1 and 2 on our opening lap of the race. That is where our orange flag lives tonight. Welcome in everybody. It's Sean Stam live here on Stam Studio Network. Appreciate you all joining in. Before we get to some virtual trackside action, let's take a look at some point standings. Going in on Pro up top, Joshua Hagee, Tim Reed, Jeremy Jukic, John Jennings, Samuel Cruz, Tyler Reed, and then to correct myself from last week, I don't know, it was probably 20,000 times said the last name wrong, Christopher Romero. He will sit there P7 in our pro points. Tom Smythe, Sam Bentley, Eduardo Vecino, Dylan Baste, and Oliver Jansen shown the front runners up there. And then looking in our AM category, Joshua Muir, Rene Garcia, Paul McCoo. That's the top 3, but point standing so close between one another. Still race 5 out of Season 8 in International Racers Pro-Am Series. 5 points separating Joshua, Rene, battles for AM category in the championship runs. Nick Batista, Joel Loudon, Dan Findett, Cameron Burke, Jordan Butler, Matthew Sherwood. How about Gareth Earl, as well as Travis Fleming, rounding out the runners in the AM category point standings. Now, as we do cut to virtual trackside action, thank you all for joining in. We already have YouTube lands popping off out here tonight. Dylan Baste, he's going to try to baste it like a turkey. Says, let's go and good luck to everyone. We also have Mitch Crowther joining in YouTube land. So is Ricardo Cano, not only just a spotter, but as well as driver. Also got Ted out there joining and YouTube land as well. Ted, can't wait to see you here in just a couple of hours. I'm getting ready to munch up some good eats. We'll take a look at some race info out here before we take a look at our starting grid. You can see this is a nice flowy 10-turn, 2.4-mile raceway. That's 3.9 kilometers. Ambient as well as track temp setting at about the 21 degrees Celsius range at an altitude about 340 meters, sitting out just out of Bowmanville, Canada, running this full course configuration. All right, and here is our starting grid here tonight, brought to you by the Fendi Racing team as well as the Fendi Racing YouTube channel. Hey, let's make sure that we really help out Fendi's YouTube, get them up to 100 and then ever so slightly up to that 1,000 mark where they'll start reeling in some revenue there. It'll be Michael Zygmunt slaps it on the pole with the 1.14.530. Struggle while saying it because that is blistering pace. Zygmunt's shown out of Poland out there. Nice lap. Samuel Cruz, he's going to join the front row in the number 25 Fendi Racing GT3, 1/10.5 out behind of Michael's lap. How about Tim Reed? Tim, this out of Scotland. Fendi Racing, he'll start P3. Jeremy Jukic, it's a full pro 2 front rows. And then our AM category starts to heat up there between Joshua Muir and Shane Wells. Eduardo Vecino, as well as Christopher Romero, our last race week's winner. Tyler Reed at a race wraps in his Mercedes AMG. He'll start P9. Cameron Burke in the AM category. He'll start P10 out of the AVO Boom Gaming Race Machine. Dylan Baste out of Skidmark Sim Racing. He'll start P11 in the pro category. Rene Garcia, he'll start P12 out of ESGI Motorsports. That is our AM category champion leader right now, starting P12. Oh my God. That just scared the hell out of me. I just had the biggest clap of thunder outside of my window here, so if you do lose the broadcast for a few minutes, the power had gone out. So far, we still got power, and it's Paul McCoo, Nick Batista, Joel Loudon, Danny Poole, John Jennings, Josh Hagee, also Travis Fleming, Jordan Butler, and Dan Findett, rounding out our 21 driver grid. And this is going to be just a quick start and go out here. You see the start lights are already out in a way that these drivers are going to head down there going into turn 1. Orange flag conditions going into turn 1. Got to be careful here, boys. That's a nice side-by-side up there for the race lead. Oh, is that Tyler Reed and his race straps from Mercedes AMG, who has already started to go around. I'll show on the right side of your screen there. He's going to keep it cool, keep it calm and collected. Back up and out front out here between Jeremy Jukic and Tim Reed, Samuel Cruz, Eduardo Vecino. That is one 1, 2, 3, and 4 on our opening 2 turns in that orange flag zone of the race. The next side-by-side battle is going to start to heat up and ensue between, I believe that's going to be Christopher Romero as well as Joshua Muir. Christopher climbs the hill down into the inside line, and his Kraken white and black Lambo GT3 makes the pass happen up there in front of Joshua Muir. Joshua continuing to lead AM categories. We'll stretch our legs for our first time tonight. Shane Wells right there behind Dylan Baste as well, running in P9. Back up here to the race lead. It is right now between Jeremy Jukic and Tim Reed. Tim, it's 2 Eduardo Vecino paint teams going at it right now. As Jeremy, he had passed 3 cars at the start of this race. Tim passed 1 car, so we've already seen our pulse and our Michael Zugmont drop back in here and all the way to P5 already. Lap 1 down and into the books. Well, we're already starting to get a little bit more squirrely onto the out of the exit of turn number 10 and back into the entrance of turn number 1. That's Michael Zugmont and his Mercedes AMG, the kind of silver as well as teal Petronas colors out there. Looking a little like Lewis Hamilton, makes the move out there, stick going into turn 1, but don't put Eduardo Vecino here out of this battle. Eduardo Vecino came back from studying. Oh, he's going to get the Sean and Tater curse. Eduardo Vecino came back from semesters on end from college and then came back in here to the sim. Just like he hadn't just left a day or 2, he's going to get those left side tires up and off of the asphalt there and try to beg for some grip, beg for some mercy out of that American-powered Chevrolet GT3 machine. It'll be a nice pass out there. Oh man, that looks like Nick Batista went way wide out of our most important corner out here of the track, heading towards that the isn't so straight, I guess you call it. We're going to have to take a couple looks at some race replays there, as well as a couple of race looks at the race start. Before we do that, though, here's some nice side-by-side between Joel Loudon and Josh Hagee. Not the qualifying efforts that they were looking for, but this is 2, I believe it's going to be 2 AM driver. Oh, no, there goes Rene Garcia. He's off the track. That was Josh who had made the move there on AM category runner Joel Loudon. Rene Garcia, not the race not the opening stint that he was looking for here, as he's going to fall back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. First, we'll take a look here and see what happened to Renee, and then we'll kind of... the rear end's going to complete... Oh, big contact there with the outside tire barrier. Hopefully, Renee's going to get that thing all fired right back up, and that's some pretty bad damage, though, on the front of his Acura NSX. Then here's another look at when the green flag did drop. We did have, I think Christopher Romero was the first car to go, I mean, he went off the track, but he had to there. He's already making a move out there going into turn 1. You can make moves with an orange flag conditions. You just have to make sure that you do them safely. There you see Tyler Reed about middle of your screen, Formula drifting out there through turn 1. That Mercedes AMG, and I think we had one off of the track as well. I think that's going to be, that is Josh Hagee. That is our pro category points leader, Josh Hagee, off of the track going into turn 1. And then here's another look at one more. It's not really an incident, but what could have been out there after Eduardo Vecino gets 4 tires up and out of the racing line. Almost comes across the nose out of there of that Mercedes AMG of Michael Zugmont, but Michael sends it down into the inside, able to make it stick. Michael's right now, that was the pass for P4. We'll actually work our way back and up here to P2 and P3 as we're going to have some side-by-side battles going outside of turns 4, heading up into 5 and 6. That's going to be Tim Reed Tim, the Chevrolet Corvette on the inside. A little bit of dabble of the brakes. Get that front hinge right to rotate there. Contact, maybe between, there definitely was contact. Trading Viner out there. Samuel Cruz diving it down the inside in his Aston Martin GT3. How about Samuel, the number 25, came into the race 5th within our pro category point standings, made the move over a driver who was relatively hard to make a pass happen over there. Cruz, nice move down to the inside. Is Samuel going to continue to play some defense? Some defense over here over the hard-charging Tim Reed, or is Tim going to look to settle his range right back and try and put that head back down and try to hit these marks once again? There's really not too much that you can do for Tim right here. Meat of the sandwich. Not only do you have Samuel Cruz 0.4 of a second in front, taking away all that air from this fast, this flowy Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Air, it equals downforce equals grip. Trust me, that's one of the easiest formulas that you'll be able to remember here within motorsports. Tim is definitely starting to feel that right now, as well as starting to feel the pressure starting to heat up there from Michael Zugmont. 0.6 of a second right in there behind him. Jumping on board here with this battle between John Jennings, Tyler Reed, and Josh Hagee. Whoa, almost contact there between those two. John Jennings looks to make a move into the inside, tries to set up there the double right-hander that we're making our way up through now. Up and in through the trees, and here comes John Jennings through the forest. He goes. Grandma's house, I don't know, it goes something like that. John Jennings, he is up and into B15, the man from the land down under. Continuing to put some very nice passes down. That's 2 spots gained since the start lights went out. Right now, the biggest driver shown is actually tied between Danny Poole and Travis Fleming. I believe that these both are in the AM category runs. There you see Travis Fleming kind of leading a little bit of a, what do you call it? A snake right there as they start to serpentine their way and back in turns 1 and 2. Fleming leads, John Jennings leading over Tyler Reed and Josh Hagee. Those are overall results running 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. There you can see John Jennings running 8th in class right now. No, we haven't forgot about him. Let's check up on the race leader. It's the one, it's the only, Jeremy Jukic. You can see his driver camera in the top right of the cams on the left side of your screen. Also, you got Tim Reed. Tim's up there with his massive setup. Christopher Romero rocking and rolling top left. As we're on board here with Jeremy Jukic, we're going to let's watch the hands out there, both virtual and real life hands. Watch Jeremy. He's going to get to really start to micro-adjusting this GT3 out here through these higher speed corners. There you see you go back, left, rock that steering wheel, right back, right, left, right, left. Get all of that front end rotation that he can feel within the force back of the wheel. Nice moves out here for Jeremy Jukic. 3 spots gained since the drop of the green flag. Still rolling away with the race lead. Although I do say that right now, Samuel Cruz did just put down the fastest lap of the race. Oh, we might have one going into the sand barrier here. It's going to be Cameron Burke. Cameron Burke, he was within that 4-car battle between John Jennings, Tyler Reed, Josh Hagee. I thought Cameron, he's going to, luckily for Cameron, out of his Avo Voom gaming race team. Thankfully for him, though, that happened right in kind of into the beginning of entrance of the pit lane. Real quick before we see what happened to him, here's a nice battle starting to heat up and ensue between Nick Batista, Danny Poole. This is 3rd and 4th, the final driver interview spot within the AM category. Look at this here. There are battles all over the racetrack between 9th running and 14th. How about John Jennings still leading this 4-car breakaway, but even with that 2-car battle up and in front of him, battles right now, I mean, it's 0.1 of a second, 2/10 of a second apart. Here comes Tyler Reed. Josh Hagee works his way all the way back and up to P15. Trust me here, with only 60% fuel, you're also going to do a little bit of fuel saving. We're going to hop on board here with Tyler Reed, running in a larger pack like this, like we do see from you can kind of allude this to some super speedway and stock car racing. You're going to save just a little bit of fuel right there. You're not only is your braking zone and are your lines compromised from the driver running up and in front of you, but you can kind of get a little bit earlier lift going into the corner and carry the same speed. You can save that fuel, which in turn is going to save you time in your mandatory. I say mandatory, we're running 60% fuel, so you definitely imagine that these drivers should have to make a pit stop here tonight. Jordan Butler, Rene Garcia, Dylan Bass, Dan Fendick right there still running in the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th position. Rene Garcia trying to crawl his way back up and in through this pack after becoming a GT3 lawnmower earlier on in the race. Looking back up here at Travis Fleming and Tyler Reed going at it, this is the battle for 6th, and I think this is it is a pro on AM battle right there. Tyler Reed being the pro within this battle. Has Josh Hagee also bringing him right up and in through it. Trying to reel in Travis Fleming, and that would be for overall 13th running position. Now that the names are separated in between the pro and classes there on the top left of the screen. Checking in on YouTube land, we got 2 goals. Go Tim, meet in the sand with Reed. Tim, you know, Tim's He's not only fun to watch, but he's got one of those fun driver pictures as well. It took me, what, maybe 2 seasons to finally yeah, maybe 2 seasons to finally get a glance at, oh man, we got Eduardo Vecino going off the track there. All right, we're going to have to take a couple looks at some race replays. We got that Cameron Burke incident. We have a Dylan Baste and then Eduardo, as well as I was talking about there real quick, the Tim Reed profile picture. Just glance down there on the left side of your screen. My God, he's been working out. All right, here's going to be Cameron Burke's incident that we saw within his Mercedes AMG. Should be out here moving up through it. Is there contact? Oh, there is contact with Dylan Baste up and in front of him. That's how Cameron Burke completely loses his nose. Here's what happens to Dylan. Oh, talk about the dirty air. That's exactly what I mentioned earlier. You'd want all the front downforce and rear downforce, as well as underbody that you have available here to you. That was 2 GT3s getting real close out there to one another. Eduardo Vecino kind of, it looks like he'll be able to run away here from it. Dylan's going to floor it into reverse and get that pointed back and into the right direction there. Here's how Eduardo Vecino got off track. Oh, it's the same corner. It's the off-camber downhill, kind of never-ending left-hander. Eduardo tries to send it down there with no cars out there around him. Tries to really carry that speed. Unfortunately, he'll mow some grass there as well. All right, it's 12 minutes down to this 45-minute race, and still the battles for the race lead, they are still right here with us. Lap time history between the two. How about them? You can see lap 7, 8, 9, all faster for Samuel Cruz. So Jeremy Jukic, he ran away with the start here to this race, but still not really able to run away from Samuel Cruz. We have seen that time and time again here from the International Racers Pro-Am Series. You might have some earlier run pace in your GT3, but once these tires start to heat up and take the pressures, as well as you start to take the pressures from the battles that they're behind you and the drivers closing in on the gaps, it is still anybody's ball game right now, and that gap continues to close. It's now 0.5 of a second, what was 0.8 out here for the race lead. Jeremy Jukic, his better half, competed in the better half dash last night. Bobby Ann Edwards did really, really well. Lots of fun to watch those ladies go at it. And now Jeremy, he's back here to some left and right turns instead of just left, which was with the better half. But if I do another one of those, I might have to throw the ladies out here on a road course and make them turn some left and right. Jeremy Jukic, he's now able to carry a little bit more speed out there through our most important corner of the track and pin that throttle pedal down, continuing to right now, at least for the time being, now starting to lose that gap. He did open it up on corner exit, but now I do think we're starting to take a gander at that slipstream, at that draft, although it's really not too big. You can't quite feel it too much within these GT3 cars. You better believe me here, because I promise I'm not lying. iRacing Simulation Motorsports being the simulator instead of a video game that it is. We have laser scan tracks. We have laser scan surfaces. Hey, we have laser scan cars going at it here at the best simulator on the market. Make sure you get a account here out here and join us. You can be watching yourself out here rocking and rolling around Canadian Tire Motorsport Park with the International Racers Pro-Am Series. Going down here through the fields I'm not going to do that here as Samuel Cruz closes that gap here once again, all over that big old rear bumper and rear diffuser of Jeremy Jukic AMR safety team inspired Fendi Racing design. Here comes Samuel Cruz. Samuel has been so fast this season. I mentioned that he came into the race within our fifth place within our pro category standings. I think that we have seen Samuel Cruz really have more speed within these higher speed racetracks that we make our way to. It's the speed, it's the racecraft, and I think most importantly, like I've said so many times, it's consistency for Samuel Cruz. He continues to show that consistency, closing the battle to the race lead. Here's Tim Reed, Michael Zugmont. It's all pro battles out there and up front. First driver in the AM category belonging to Joshua Muir right now. Joshua Muir coming into the race with the AM category points lead. Shane Wells runs P2 in AM category, as well as Nicholas Batista. Nick, he started up there this season. God, what are we on? Is it already 8 seasons of International Racers Pro-Am Series? Nick, he's going to have to look at a little bit of a rebound here after he continues to work his way through the pack. We'll get back up here within this battle for the race lead. Samuel Cruz is now all over the rear bumper. He is stalked. He is creeped out the dungeon. Right now, he is done abiding his time. We are 15 and a half minutes down, 30 minutes left to go in the race. Samuel Cruz is now there, battling for the race lead. Here, you got to be careful here, boys. Not only is this battle here going to start to heat up and ensue, but once Samuel does start to get side by side with Jeremy is going to have to start to worry about not only Samuel, but as well as Tim Reed. Michael Zugmont still hanging on there as well. You can see the gaps close out here between the battle for the race lead going into the fast, flowy, I think that's 10. Here comes 11, and outside of turn number 12, our kind of 90-degree right-hander here, slower portion of the racetrack. And there you see Samuel Cruz. He's going to, oh man, dives it so deep into the corner, kind of loses a little bit more run out of the exit. We'll see if Samuel Cruz can dial up anything up going into turn 1. No, it's gap's going to stay about the same there. Tim Reed, Michael Zugmont, Christopher Romero. That's 1 through 5 overall positions. Joshua runs 6th, but leading the AM category. Here comes a move for Samuel Cruz. He is tired of abiding his time. He is tired of the patience. Down and around the switchback was for Samuel into the inside. But this move isn't quite over here just yet. We'll work our way back up and into the hill. The double right-hander. Samuel is going to have to start to play that defense. That defensive line out there after making a nice move for the race lead. Here's another look at it as we'll real quick take a quick race replay, and then we'll get right back up and into this battle. Look at him, nice, textbook pass around the inside. Jeremy Jukic, matter of fact, gave him a little bit of room. That's what we come to love to, that's what we come to love to watch within the International Racers Pro-Am Series. You do have that racecraft, you have that ethical wheel racing from just about, if not each and every single one of these drivers out here. Jeremy Jukic, even while getting passed for the race lead, really allows that inside line to get opened right back up. And I honestly think that's not only the ethical wheel racing of Jeremy, but he knows that that Tim Reed is coming with a head of steam right now. There you see Jeremy get loose out of turns 1 and 2 after he tries to carry that speed on through. That Corvette GT3 not going to the front end Michelin tires not going to take into that rotation very well up there. Tim Reed is going to start to close that gap on his teammates' rear bumper there. I say teammates as close as these paint schemes are here to one another. Appreciate Eduardo Vicino for painting up some real nice paint schemes. Here's 2 more going at it. That'll be John Jennings and Paul McCoo. That'll be down and around the turn that I believe Samuel Cruz made the pass for the race lead happen. It's now side by side between Tyler Reed, Paul McCoo, Tyler Reed onto the offensive braking line. He's deeper into the zone. How about the Race Wraps Mercedes-AMG? Tyler Reed gained the spot that he lost back there a couple of laps ago over Paul McCoo. That'll be Pro Driver, works his way back up to P12 overall, which warrants P8 in class. Let's check up on here Christopher Romero. He's now man, Christopher, we have seen so much pace out of him. We also saw that race win there just 1 week ago. But hey, he's not run away here from Joshua Muir just yet. This wouldn't be the first time that we've seen Joshua show so much speed that he has finished up and in front of pro drivers, leading the AM category by 8.2 seconds over the wonderful Shane Wells. Shane Wells right now has about a that's about a 4-second gap down there to Nick Batista, who runs back behind Shane in the P3 category. Now look at Shane Wells. He is all smiles down there in the driver profile picture. Shane, we appreciate you uploading your profile picture to the SDK database there. And I know I've mentioned this here before, and I'll say this about any driver here within the International Racers Pro-Am Series, but they're all so nice. It's one of the nicest groups, if not the nicest group that I have been a part of, and continue to see this International Racers Pro-Am Series group grow and grow. It brings just a huge smile to my eyes, to my face there, as well as I know I've said this before with Shane, but if you're having just maybe a little bit under the weather day, or you just need a nice laugh, make sure you you can chat up there with Shane Wells up there in our Discord. Just overall, just such a funny guy out there, as well as fast in his Bumblebee yellow and black Fendi Racing EVAS designs Ferrari GT3. Puts down some nice respectful lap times as well. Last lap by was a 1:15.19 faster than this battle up here between Christopher Romero and Joshua Mir up and in front of Shane Wells. Shane, although he's 8 seconds back behind this battle, continuing to close in here just by a couple tenths of a second here, couple tenths of a second there. Hey, that'll work for road course racing if you're able to catch him where they're slower and continue to work down that gap. We could see Shane out here, even though, oh man, you got to work with that pit stop as well. So it's all a game of fuel strategy. It's all a game of chess at upwards of our fastest speed, 157 miles per hour. I would imagine here with still Christopher Romero holding off Joshua Mir. You got to remember that these are pro versus am within this overall P5 and P6, so I don't think we should see too much hard battling between the two. Going back onto clean and ethical wheel racing, this is, I mean, these drivers know what's up for stakes. They know essentially what they are battling. Sure, it would be Joshua to get one more spot, but as far as the point standings are concerned, really not going to gain anything more there for it. Jumping in back on here. What has this been going on out here for the last 10, maybe 15 laps? It's John Jennings, Tyler Reed. They're now separated by 0.2 of a second. Tyler, he's going to try to make that. He's gonna think better of it there going out and into turn one. Whoa, there's the Porsche. I think that is that Cameron Bird? There was a Porsche up there in front of that battle out there that started to get loose out there on the racetrack. Dan Fendick, he's running P8 in his number 327, and pit stops are now starting. There you see on the bottom of your screen, that'll be Nick Batista, our first driver into pit lane. Dan, he's having a really nice night so far. He's running in P5, excuse me, not P5, P7, excuse me, he is gained 5 spots since the drop of these, since the start lights went out. So Dan, he's right now, he's keeping it cool, calm, and collected. About 12.2 seconds back behind AM Jordan Butler, and then he's still beating our championship pro points leader coming into the race, Josh Heggie. After Josh really didn't have that start that he was looking for, I think he actually turned it. He got 4 tires off the racetrack. He's going to get 2 left side tires off the racetrack right there, keeping it pointed back the right direction. Heggie, his family out of Ireland. He's showing it out here, this International Racers Pro-Am Series. Checking in on YouTube land, Jacqueline says that would be so much fun even if it was once a month. Josh had gotten me into the rig a few times, originally intend to participate on the race, but enjoy driving GT3s more. Jacqueline, that'll be a lot of fun if we're able to get some GT3 action here between some better half dash. We could be looking at some battles just like this. It was John Jennings, Tyler Reed. Battle's still not over here between the two. They were running side by side, mirror to mirror, but now they've settled it back down to single file. That would be Danny Poole running in the overall 9th position. You can see him with the I love the flag up there on the top of his at the top of his Fanatec Porsche machine. Number 82 running in the. Also, you can tell by the LED panels out there out of the rear quarter panel. It says 09. That'll be Danny Poole's official overall running position right now. Danny has a nice run going, running in P3 in the AM category. John Jennings, he is another meat in the sandwich. We're about 25 minutes down, 20 minutes to go. Back here, and before these battles start to get a little bit too good here between one another, I'm going to treat you guys and gals to the sights and sounds. Be right back with you up here in the booth. Thanks, everybody. That was a quick crank it up. Okay, crank it back down. Unfortunately, right as we cut to Jeremy Jukic, gone around. What has happened on that Corvette? Oh, no contact, just up and off of the rumble strips. lead. No, Jeremy, no. Leading race laps. Oh, he actually makes pretty heavy contact with Joshua Mir trying to keep it off of the race line. This could be AM category race winning problem out here for Joshua. Take another look at it here as he's just trying to get this thing righted the right way, and here comes Joshua, tries to send it down the inside. That really looks like it could have maybe net coded for Joshua, and all that damage has may gone away. Here you see it really looks like the diffuser almost just makes some pretty heavy contact with those 3D rendered rumble strips there for Jeremy, and down and around and send up here comes Joshua here. And I think this is going to have a little bit of an effect on that AM category battle for the race win right now, because Christopher Romero, well, I started to say that sentence with a little bit of confidence, but I don't see any cosmetic damage on that right front of Joshua, and I don't see Christopher Romero really closing that gap down in some detrimental fashions out there. So I think I think Joshua is able to kind of come away here lucky-handed and with some luck in his pocket. Jumping back here between 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is Eduardo Casino running 5th in the pro category. Danny Poole, he's got his final driver interview spot up for grabs right now, trying to run away from, I mean, he is in a pro-on-pro battle, but that's not gonna scare Danny at all. There you see John Jennings makes his way down and into the pits. Tyler Reed right there behind him. That's some very nice pace for Danny Poole to keep up within this pro category battles. As there you see, looks like John Jennings, he'll make his pit stop. That was also Jeremy Jukic coming right back out of the pits. Jeremy, we appreciate you keeping out there on track, even after a tow and into the garage. Jeremy, he's going to drop back and fall back all the way down to P20 in our overall standings. That'll be P10 in the pro category. Hey, I saw tires going on there for at least Paul McHugh. John Jennings, he'll make his way down and off of pit lane. Paul, how about Paul? Came into the race 3rd within our point standings in the AM category. Paul has had such a nice season thus far in the International Racers Pro-Am Series, and it's been races here just like this. Continues to keep it clean, moving, slicing, dicing through the pack. Paul, he'll fall back here to P9, but this should cycle out here once every driver does have to make a pit stop. Checking in on pit lane once again, it's our one of our front runners here tonight, Tim Reed. Tim, the driver pick, boom. I love it. Tim, we appreciate it, and we appreciate you taking to the nickname here pretty well. I'll still remember the first time that it's all started to really happen out there. It was a couple of seasons ago in the International Racers Pro-Am Series. Tim Reed's name shown up on timing and scorings as Tim Reed, Tim, and that was a very fast stop, a 0-tire pit stop as well. So some differing strategy as far as fuel and tires go. Now there you see Eduardo Vecino. He does have a black flag lap. That's also Eduardo Vecino showing off of the racetrack. He'll get it right back in on it. But with this 11X incident penalty count that we do have, I believe Eduardo Vecino, not only does Eduardo still have to pit, but he still has to serve a drive-through penalty for I believe it is cresting that 11X incident count. Eduardo has been off the track once or twice, with all due respect here tonight, but we do see these incidents that will start to accumulate here pretty quickly. Eduardo, we have seen him off the track because he's been in some pretty tight battles there. You see him run just the right side tires up and off of the asphalt, and that's all it takes to send him down in some pretty some pancake action there on his right side of his Innovation Q8 oils machine. Let's actually hop on board here with Eduardo and kind of see a point of view camera shot. So you have, as a driver, you have the iRacing spotter in your ear, or Ricardo in your ear, if he's spotting for you. And Eduardo, you saw there the sharp left, or the flowing left-hander. It just continues to go. Not only is it completely disappear from your field of view, but Eduardo had that car down into the inside, and that's just going to make things a little bit tougher on him there going into the corner. Back up here, we still got some drivers going up and off the racetrack. How about Samuel Cruz? He'll pass Tyler Reed after Tyler goes off the racetrack. We still have things right now, they're cycling out right now after the majority of the field going to make their way into the pit stops, if not this lap, next lap by. Race leader Michael Zugmont, he cycled his way to the race lead. Now he's going to have to make his pit stop. So we should see right now, I believe it's going to be actually Samuel Cruz who should cruise his way up and into the race lead, depending on how fast Michael Zugmont is able to get on and off the pit lane right here. I have mentioned so many times that the battles of strategies really come into this International Racers Pro-Am Series. And here you're going to see how much fuel was Michael able to save earlier on in the race. Will it be enough compared to, there goes Shane Wills, battle for the overall race lead right there. So Shane Wills, he's able to save enough fuel. Shane's going to still need to make a pit stop, but more importantly, here's Samuel Cruz. That is the gap between P1 and P2 with what will finally cycle out here between the next couple of laps out there. Samuel Cruz faster coming onto pit lane, as well as driving off, as well as possibly just less fuel taken for Samuel. Nice strategy moves right there for him. He'll slot his way back up to P2, should cycle back out here to the race lead. Michael Zugmont, he will drop to overall P3. There's Tim Reed running overall P4. And then Christopher Romero, about 10 seconds gap separates P4 and P5. I believe that's going to be P4 within the pro category as well for Christopher. Now Christopher's going to get way tight on there on corner entrance. Who is that gone around him? That's going to be Joshua Muir. Joshua now makes that pass and up to P5 overall. Still not quite leading in the AM category, but he should cycle back and around to a tire after Shane Wells is now into the pits. And this is all going to depend on how fast Joshua's hauling the mail out of here. Turns 10, 11, 12. Can he get to pits exit before Shane Wells exits in the AM category race lead? Checking up here in on Shane. Shane still stopped, and here comes Joshua screaming down the front stretch. That'll be a nice pass out there for AM. That's an easy pass as well for the AM category. Overall running race winning contention spots. Race leading spot out there. That is what I meant to say. Checking in back here on Rene Garcia and Nick Batista. 2 battles in the AM category just outside of that final driver interview spot. Rene and Nick now separated by 0.4 of a second, as Nick, I think, is really starting to reel in that battle for P4 in the AM category. We see at least 23, 24. It has been faster for Batista. Look at 21, 22, 25 faster for Garcia. Points are up for grabs. There's a lot up for grabs. Points, average running positions. There's incidents that these drivers are continuing to rack up. So much going on out here between these battles as well. Hey, Jordan Butler, we're checking out on the number 95 machine again. He's rocking, rolling, keeping the inside line. We're moving back and around. Paul McHugh, Travis Fleming as well. Jordan Butler's got the smiles all over the front nose of his Lightning McQueen, number 95. There's Paul McHugh and Travis Fleming running all in between 0.3 of a second. That'll be 15, 16, 17 overall. So I believe this will be 7th, 8th, and 9th position out here, all up for grabs. We continue to see these really high intensity, these fast battles out here continue to really show make for some nice broadcasting and some TV. Hopefully you're all joining, and hopefully you're all having a nice time down there in YouTube land. You got your virtual or real, maybe real life popcorn buckets out. Back out here between this nice this battle that has continued to heat up, boil and ensue. It's almost looking like a crawfish boil out here between John Jennings and Tyler Reed. Tyler Reed really, he had a way earlier entrance there for the corner, as that kind of shut off the line and the air available to John Jennings' front nose. We're going to hop on board here with John as we'll make our way back up and through this. We'll snake our way back up and through the hill. It's now 0.8 of a second there. Oh man, Tyler Reed really got deep. Lost a lot of time there. 0.3 of a second now separates John Jennings and Tyler Reed. We're not missing anything out front within the front overall positions, as gaps have now opened themselves. 2.4 seconds for Samuel Cruz with some nice strategy calls out here tonight. If he's able to keep enough fuel in the fuel tank to make his way across the white as well as checkered flag lap here in just about 10 minutes time. John Jennings, Tyler Reed battles for 6th and 7th. How about Paul McCoo, Jordan Butler, Travis Fleming? That three-way is still going out as well. All right, ladies and gents, for the final time tonight, and maybe just a little bit longer for 10, 15 seconds, you can go and enjoy the sights and sounds. My name's Sean Stan, producing, directing, commentating the show. I'll be right back with you up here in the booth. Thanks, everybody. Crank it back down, down, down. Sean Stan, producer, director, commentating, back up with you here in the booth. And back up with you here is this 0.3 of a second between John Jennings and Tyler Reed. Now that Paul McCoo had gone off track as we were on board with him, I think we're going to have to cue that one as a Sean and Tater curse, man. Second time tonight that we've seen during our Crank It Up section, driver that we were on board with or recently had gone off the track there. So after John Jennings, it looks like he did make the pass there over Tyler Reed, and I don't want to discredit this pass. We're gonna have to take another look at it there. I mean, okay, well now it looks easy after John Jennings is able to he's able to use the speed and momentum, but what really started that all was as I mentioned a couple of times out here that between our most important corner of the track, I think it is turn 6, that's you really have to make sure you nail your entrances going up the double, I guess you call it chicane, the left and right hander, and then the double right-hander. That's exactly what John Jennings did to make that pass happen, as he is now sitting, I believe that's 8th within the pro category, 10th place overall. No, that'll put him to 7th place with the pass. That is 10th overall running. Nice racing out here for John. God, he's been one of our a couple of these members have been with us since just about the whole start of Findlay Racing and International Racers Pro-Am Series. And man, John Jennings, he's one of those there drivers just in who's continued to stick us out, to continue to stick us, to stick with us, excuse me. Goodness gracious. Jordan Butler, I noticed he's been going back and forth, blinking across the racetrack, and that is really distracting as a driver trying to run around a driver who continues to deal with a little bit of internet connection issues. That'll be a nice, oh my God, Travis Fleming trying to set up the switchback over there over a driver that continues to blink, and here he comes with a nice run back up into the hill. Here comes 3. He's gonna open up that corner entrance compared there over Jordan Butler. Jordan Travis going at it 4. I believe this is 7th and 8th within the AM category. Travis not able to size him up down into the inside line right now. after not blinking out here, at least this time by Travis has to feel a little bit more safer with maybe getting door to door, but it's so distracting, as well as not distracting, but it's dangerous. The net code possibilities are way dramatically increased out here after iRacing just tries to have to guess where the driver next to you is. Danny Poole, that'll be Dylan Baste. Dylan basted like a turkey, makes that pass happen for P6 in the pro category. That was over Danny Poole, so he still sits P6 after making the pass in class. But I'm starting to run out of words there for a move just with that much, with that much cleanliness. Dylan Baste looked like he sent it through the dishwasher, put some Tide cleaner all up and over it. Very clean pass made. Dylan Baste up to P6, that's P8 overall. Danny Poole still sits in that final driver interview spot of the AM category. Still within a pro standards as well is Danny Poole. He sits in between Dylan Baste, John Jennings, Tyler Reed, and then the next AM driver back will be Rene Garcia, running 4th place in category. Only 5 more minutes to go, and with lap times ranging in the 1:14 range. How about Samuel Cruz? Samuel should be cruising out here to just about, what should be 3 to 4 laps to go, depending on when he makes his way across the stripe on our coming to the white flag lap. Now, Samuel Cruz, I did say, he was cruising to victory, but I'm going to have to take that back here, ladies and gents. Look at Samuel and look at this traffic up there in front of him. There's 1, if not 2, if not 3 cars that are about to be put down 1 lap. I think one of them will be Dan Kennedy. I think Eduardo Vecino right up in front of him as well. So not only league owner, but a very fast pro driver as well. You would imagine that we should see the racecraft. We should see these drivers pull off and off to the side. At least that's what I've come to really not expect, but what I've come to see within the International Racers Pro-Am Series is they're going to blow you away with just how much ethical racecraft that each one of these drivers has, as well to allude on a topic I mentioned earlier, as well as just how nice and friendly this whole group is. And there, you're going to see exactly what I was talking about. That'll be Dan Fendi, the 327, going to move off the race line for the race leader, allow Samuel Cruz to put him down a lap. Samuel Cruz right now still sitting about 2.4 seconds back and in front of our race leader. Lap 32, lap 33 are the temps starting to boil up in these Michelin GT3 tires. It's been faster for Michael Zygmunt these last 2 laps by. Is there enough time to catch him? Or you're just going to have to find out and see, because it's going to come down because between these last couple of laps. Danny Poole still sits P3, John Jennings and Tyler Reed, Rene Garcia back on that battle that we were just watching, not anything missing there. Our next driver up and in front of him, just mentioned it, it's Eduardo Vecino, Yeah, it is Eduardo Vecino. There's Samuel Cruz in the same camera shots, and then you still see Dan kind of pulling away off of the race line, allowing Michael Zygmunt to make a move up there in his Petronas Mercedes AMG. This race is all going to come down here to the nitty-gritty in our closest battles as well. It's Danny Poole, John Jennings, and battles between different categories, but battling for overall position. This is 9th, 10th positions out here. Might as well make our way through the tree section. I thought, John, what are we I apologize for the foliage there. My God, John, it looks like he tried to make a move down into the inside. Didn't make it happen. John will continue to sit P7. Here comes Tyler Reed, who we're hopping on board with right here, right now. Is Samuel Cruz going to come in across the stripe here with the white flag out? I think we're going to get 2 more laps to go here, ladies and gents. This is really good, what you want to see for John Jennings and Tyler Reed after they're trying to make at least 1 more spot, if not 2 spots up. You want to see that the white flag held for at least 2 more laps. That allows you 10 turns a lap. That is 2.4 miles per lap to allow you to try and make something happen, and that's exactly what we are going to see. It'll be 2 laps to go until the white and then checkered is thrown. Danny Poole. Danny's going to have to really play some defense down. Late block down there over Danny and John Jennings. Danny, I think he was still clear to make the block happen, though. We do talk about ethical racing, and it has been clean here thus far. Danny Poole, he's doing what he has to do to continue to run up here within that top 9 position and final driver interview spot within the AM category. Danny has John and Tyler right in there behind him, and as Danny is continuing to kind of allow John and Tyler to reel in themselves right there. Oh, I was just about to say it was Rene Garcia who did close the gap, but now it's Rene, spins the rear tires after facing the wrong direction. Rene Garcia, after getting all the way back and up to P4 in the AM category, I think he's going to have to tow that down into the pits. That's going to allow Nick Batista. Here comes Nick. Whoa, don't spin it, Rene. Rene is crab walking it down there on the straightaway. There goes Travis Fleming, Jordan Butler, Nick Batista. This has really big AM implications coming to the end of this race. Out up front, Samuel Cruz is running away with a 2.7 second gap on the white flag lap. Last lap to go. Here comes this battle once again between Danny Poole and John Jennings. Contact there between the two. Danny Poole, he really played the defense there over our never-ending left-hander carousel. John Jennings now has some pretty nice cosmetic damage on the front nose of his McLaren GT3. We'll have to see if that makes any sort of difference for Tyler Reed, which these pro drivers are duking it out here for 7th and 8th, right there behind Danny Poole, P3 AM. It's going to be pretty much the corner that'll make or break it here tonight, after John Jennings is able to kind of run away there from Tyler Reed's rear bumper, but you're not going to be able to run away from speed, from the slipstream, and from the draft. Here comes Tyler Reed down and around. He's going to right now follow that McLaren up and in front of him here for our final 2 corners of the track. Samuel Cruz will conquer Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and here comes Michael Zugmont across the line. Tim Reed will be P3 in pro category. It's still out here between Danny Poole, John Jennings, and Tyler Reed. Looks like Danny Poole will hold him off. He'll finish P3 in the AM category. It'll be P2 AM for Shane Wells, and then P1 for Joshua Muir. What a race across the line. Congratulations, Samuel Cruz cruises his way to victory at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. It's race 5, season 8 of the International Racers Pro-Am Series, and it belongs to Samuel Cruz. Congratulations, Samuel. We'll be chatting with him in just a few moments' time, as well as our top 3 drivers unofficially official of both the Pro and AM categories. Also, congratulations, the one, the only Joshua. After contact to his front right earlier on, Joshua is able to hold off the AM category. Oh, my this is going to be some special interviews. Stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. We're going to show you some unofficial, official race results, as well as get to those driver interviews. Alrighty, here we go. Unofficial, official race results. It'll be Samuel Cruz up there. Takes away the race win from CTMSP. Michael Zugmont, P2. Tim Reed, P3. That final driver interview in the pro category. Joshua Muir, Christopher Romero, Josh Hagee, Shane Wells, Dylan Bass, Danny Poole, and John Jennings round out the top 10. That would be 10th overall. So first in AM belongs to Josh, second in AM, Shane Wells, and third, Danny Poole. Fourth for AM category, Joel Loudon. Fifth, Nick Batista. Sixth, that would be Jordan Butler. Travis Fleming, 7th, and then 8th, Paul McCoo. Eduardo Vecino finishes overall 17th. Dan Findick overall 18th. Rene Garcia and Jeremy Jukic, P20. Hey drivers, welcome into the virtual driver interview room. Samuel, got yourself a copy, man.
I copy, Sean.
This will be fun. Samuel, congratulations. Welcome up here into virtual victory lane. God, what's going through your minds, man? You, Aston Martin on rails here tonight, Samuel.
Oh man, it's surreal. It's been a while since I've won, so it feels great. And just a little redemption, because I was quick here last time we ran, but I ended up binning it from the lead. And I think I recovered for a podium, but it feels good to not bin it this time around.
Man, Samuel, can you really allude on just how easy it is to bin it in the GT3 out here around Canadian Tire Motorsport Park?
Oh, it's easy, especially on that hard braking zone into that double right, through that little up and down section. And you don't get that throttle just right, it will take you out.
Oh man, we unfortunately did see that a couple of times here tonight, as well as some side-by-side battles going up and through there. But Samuel, hey, it was all behind you. You come away with the race win here tonight. Samuel, who you shouting out to? You dedicate this race win to, man?
I'm gonna shout this one out to my sister. Love you, sis.
Ooh, hey, that's what it's all about right there. Happy Valentine's Day around the world, and hey, man, that's seriously, it means a lot here to me. I appreciate the friends and family members out there who were able to stick around now all through it. Samuel, congratulations on the race win, man.
Appreciate it, Sean.
Samuel is going to get to pop in that virtual champagne in Victory Lane. Before we let you get going, though, here, so we've got 5 more drivers. We'll start out here with Michael Zugmont, P2 in Pro category. Michael, got yourself a copy.
Yeah, copy.
Hey, Michael, welcome up here into podium position at driver interviews, P2 in Pro category. Man, you started up on the pole, finished P2. You showed some nice pace in that Mercedes AMG.
Yeah, really good results.
Michael, how did you find as much pace? I mean, you were putting down, what, 114.6 as your best lap? My goodness.
I have no idea. I don't like this track completely. I only practiced like 8 laps I did in the practice and that's it.
Well, that's pretty surprising, and it takes away my next question because I was just about to ask, how much practice did you have? Hey, that 2,600 road course iRating, Michael, that A-class of your own as well. Even though you don't like the track here, nice podium finish. Who you shouting out to? You dedicate this podium finish to?
To my parents.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Some more family action out here. Michael, congratulations. P2. We'll let you get going and hopefully chat with you next time.
Thank you.
For our final driver interview position in the Pro category, it's the one, it's the only. Tim, I think you know who it is up here in the booth, but it is Tim Reed. Tim who joined us. Tim, you got yourself a copy.
All right, Sean.
Ooh, here we go. Another podium for you. How? This has been race after race after race. Tim, you're rewriting the sim racing history books here with us in front of our eyes, man.
Yeah, not last week. That was a pig's ear. I made it that. I spun on the first lap. So yeah, I needed this one. I'm dead happy with this.
I'm gonna have to use that one, pig's ear, going into turn 1. But I knew that you'd be happy with it. Back up here, where you started the race P3, so nice qualifying effort as well. I talked about Michael's best lap being the 114.6. Your best lap was a 114.59. Tim, how did you find as much pace as you had? You were on rails here tonight, man.
Corvette's good here. It's one of the only tracks where it's good, so I put it down to the car really. And I did quite a bit of practice here this week. Yeah, just having confidence in the tires, and so you can't see the entries here. So you kind of just gotta like hope that the tires give you grip when you need it. And yeah, these guys are fast. Like Michael and Sam this week were just flying. I didn't really put much foot wrong, and yeah, they were pouncing at the start. Right from the start, we were side by side. It was a great racing. Pleasure to drive with these guys.
Hey, well said there, Tim. Before we let you get going, man, who you shouting out to? You dedicating another podium finish to?
I'll shout out to Jeremy. He was quick here and had a little slip up there. It's a bit of a shame. I thought he could have maybe won it here. My friends at Watch. Josh, he's just had a newborn, so he'll be sitting watching with him. Michael, he's had a pretty rough week, so yeah, I hope he sorts himself out. And then Doogie, just the guys that watching YouTube land.
That's what it's all about there, Tim. We appreciate you. Real quick before I let you get going, is that a Fendi racing flag? What kind of flag you got there draped on top of the setup?
Yeah, this is the new Fendi flags you can buy on the shop.
No way! Holy crap!
Yeah, I thought it was a small one that you could like mount in your monitor, and then it arrived and it's like the size of a beach towel. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, man, that's bad. First time I've seen it, and man, draping around you, man. Podium finish right there.
That's it. That's it. Look at that. Here we go. Ripping the Fendi.
Oh, that is badass, Tim.
Look at that thing.
And
Buy them in the shop.
I like where you had it up there, just kind of draped on top, dude. It still looked pretty cool up there. Tim, I'll let you get going. I know you're draped in sweat. I know I am. Appreciate your time and efforts out here at the sim racing world, and hopefully you're chatting with you next time, man.
Spot on. Cheers, fella. Thanks.
Alrighty, that'll do it for pro category. We'll mosey our way on over to AM. Oh, this is gonna be a good one too. Joshua, it's Sean up here in the booth. You got yourself a copy.
I gotcha.
Josh, another AM category race win in the books for your Infinite Racing BMW. What's going through your mind here, Josh?
Man, it just pushing hard. It was hard out there, but I'm glad that I was able to keep the car together. And the little incident that I had with Jeremy in the back kind of clipped his front end after his spin. It was trying to compose my nerves and lock it in for the rest of the race.
And Joshua, we did see that on the broadcast there, and it looks like it. I mean, it did take some damage, and it almost looks like the right front kind of pops right out back right away. But I mean, sometimes as a driver, you may not know that, or even after damage, you feel that within the car. Joshua, how do you put your head down after an incident like that?
Yeah, I felt it a little bit. It felt like speed had decreased a little bit, especially going up the hill to the final set of turns. I wasn't redlining out in fifth, so it was a little bit of a slowdown. I didn't get any repair during my pit, so I don't know how it sorted itself, but after I came out of the pits, it was fine, and my confidence went back up that I could keep pushing at race pace again.
Well, that's an excellent breakdown here for us, because sometimes iRacing damage can be just a little bit wonky, but Joshua, you're still out here with us in virtual victory lane for the AM category. Out of Maryland, Josh, who are you shouting out here tonight? Who makes this win all possible?
I'm gonna shout out, obviously, you for doing the broadcast week in, week out. It's always great stuff. Fendi and Dan and everyone, all the admins that put it on. Mom, Dad again helped me come through with doing some last minute modifications to the rig, and my girl Jackie, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for watching.
Hey, again, that's some more friends and family member shout outs. That's what it's all about there. It's happy Valentine's Day. Joshua, happy race day and happy race win for you in class. We'll let you get going there in the number 40, and hopefully we're chatting with you next week's time.
Thanks, Sean.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, two more to go. We'll start out here with Shane Wells, P2 in the AM category. Hey, Shane, Sean, you got yourself a copy.
Well.
Yeah,
We made it. We're here, bro.
Shane, you're the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing out here on this wonderful race evening? Hey, you're bringing Omir P2 in the AM category as well.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back up in the booth. Taking me I don't know what race this is, 4, 5? Been struggling
5,
out
yeah.
here, but today, just had to make it happen, so happy with the finish.
Man, Shane, you came into this race here. You started P6, so you only lost one spot, but you had also some very nice pace. Matter of fact, faster lap times than our pro drivers that I did mention. Oh no, I have the wrong number. Okay, I take that back. But you did have
No,
the
don't take it back.
No, I guess it's too late. Yeah, Shane, you were quick here tonight as well. Consistency also showed the pace, but Shane, you're up to P2. How was the orange flag going into turn 1 and 2 on the start of the race?
Mate, I felt like I got bullied off the start.
No!
I got bullied. I was like in the middle. I was like, what's going on? But survived it. Then I tried to let Dylan pass because he's quicker. And obviously he's in a pro category, so I thought I'd just let him pass. And then some AM took my position off me, and I was raging. So I was like, right, head down, we're getting this back.
Well,
And managed to keep it together.
That's what I was just about to say. You managed to keep it together. You managed to keep your head down and back up to P2 in the AM category you found yourself. Shane, I mean, how did it feel, and can you walk us through what it takes to make to slice and dice your way kind of through the pack and to finish up here at P2, making passes happen at a harder track like Canadian Tire Motorsport Park?
It's easy, man. All I gotta think about is I am making the booth tonight. That's it. That was my focus.
Well, that's a great transition into the next question I got. Who are you shouting out to? Who are you dedicating this top 3 up in the booth tonight, Shane?
I'm gonna take a different route tonight. We're gonna shout out the ladies, Sean, on the oval track. Because I did tune in last night and it was decent.
Oh, no.
So we'll take it there. Shout out to the girls.
Hey, very well done. Shout out there for Shane. And on Valentine's Day, the best day to do it. Hey, Shane, thank you for joining into one of my broadcasts. That means a lot here to me. Hopefully, we're chatting with you next podium finish. I know it'll really push you up there into that top 3. And welcome back here, Shane.
Thank you, man.
All righty, ladies and gents, we got one more driver to go. It'll be Danny Poole, P3 in the AM category. Danny, think you know who it is up in the booth? You got yourself a copy. Uh-oh, I don't see Danny down here in YouTube land. All right, I mean, Discord land. So I'll give him here just a couple moments time. Danny, if he doesn't want the interview, that is still A-okay, and I would like to congratulate Danny on his top 3. Thank you all for joining in here live on Stam Studio Network, both in YouTube land, in Discord, wherever you might be. Thank you, Mitch Crowther, Ricardo Cano, Jacqueline, Ted, Terry, Dougal, everybody down there in YouTube land for joining on here. Sean Stam on Stam Studio Network. I thank you all, and I hope you all have a great rest of your night. See you next time.